The episode is slow, but the story pacing is
moving
fast.
Yeah.
Yes.
The first 3 episodes, if I'm being honest, has been a lot of like just kind of sad moms. You think the Masters sell tickets?
Boy, go to
Biden versus Trump
at Pinehurst.
settle the presidency.
At Pinehurst #2. Man,
Let's go.
Are you
Oh my
kidding,
God.
dude?
Let's go.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
dude.
Trump
Everybody on the planet.
Trump
would be
Biden
paying.
at Valhalla. Oh my God.
Episode 85, ladies and gentlemen.
85.
We're back. It's been a little bit of a hiatus. We've been it's summer. It's tough.
It's summer. We're doing
tough.
things.
Tough to keep the schedule on track. But on this episode, Courtney brought us a bottle of Willett. Very excited to dive into that. This is a straight rye whiskey. It's a very fancy label. And Willett has a reputation for being pretty delicious. A lot of people have a high opinion of it. Really no notes on the bottle, just distilled, aged, and bottled by the Willett Distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky, which is pretty cool. Aged in hand-selected white oak barrels for 4 years and bottled at cask strength. So this is a little bit of this guy's a hefty proof, 109.8. So we're going to pop the top
I was
on
in my...
Oh, no. Goodness gracious. Carry on.
There we go. I was in my old neighborhood, went to my good old Reisterstown.
Wine and spirits.
Yeah, Reisterstown Wine and Spirits. And saw my man Harry.
Amen.
I said, Harry. He's always excited to see me because he knows I don't live out there anymore. And he was like, have you had Willett yet? And I was like, we haven't had Willett on the show. I'm always hearing about Willett. And then I was like, you know what? I actually hadn't had Willett. So I thought this would be a good opportunity. Oh, that bottle talks to you too. It's a good opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. I really, this is just a comment on the aesthetic of the bottle.
Really.
I like bottles that have that shape. They're almost like wine bottles. Like they're just tall and simple.
Yeah.
They look good on the shelf. And there's something about it that's very, I don't know, refined. Like I always appreciate that. I feel like a lot of companies get really weird with their bottles.
They want to be like real. Like,
they're trying to like prove something. You know what I mean?
Be real fancy, which I'm a sucker for. But then the actual drink tastes like.
Yeah. Remember that one whiskey we had that had like glasses on the top and bottom?
The ASAP Rocky one?
Yeah. That was
terrible.
That was a very odd.
Yeah, we can't forget that one.
Tastes like
Very
soap.
odd scenario we found ourselves in. Okay. Well, moving on. Let's dive into
Stuff.
debate talk. We'll go right into it. It's a political
It's rough,
episode.
man.
I'm sorry.
Rough. So
It's a big-
we can't say names, right? We'll
It's
say
all
45 and 46.
I think now because we're talking politics, I think we're gonna probably flag something. I don't even just saying the debate. I'm sure will catch us something. So, but it's fine. We're gonna go with it.
Our
anyway.
YouTube agent is like,
We're just gonna move forward with it either way. So the debate. I'm gonna be honest. I threw a pizza party.
you did?
I threw a pizza party for myself, and because I was very excited. I love. I don't know. It's probably sad in a lot of ways, but it is a very chaotic time, and the Biden-Trump, clash of titans, if you will. Just I don't know. It was too good to be missed. Really, it's just too. It's like Bravo or something. Like you have to.
It's housewives.
It's housewives for the country that like run the country. It's housemen that run the country.
Yeah.
So you got to watch it. I think that's just I don't know. That was my opinion. And I guess here's the thing: if you're not going to vote and you don't really care, then
It is what it is.
But if you think you're going to vote or you're interested in possibly showing up to a poll, it seems only fair to probably watch the debates, hear what they say, regardless of what your preconceived notions are. But do you want to share some thoughts? Do you want to take us down your experience? Did you watch the whole thing? Did you chime in a little late?
So what time did it come on? Like
It started at 9.
8,
It was a 9 to 10:30 debate.
Yeah, so I'm the bedtime parent, so it was kind of on in the background as we were like shutting down the house, and I did get to catch like a nice chunk of it.
Yeah.
And from what I saw,
Solid 60 minutes.
it was, for lack of better words, the con man versus the old man.
It lived up to the hype.
Yeah, like it
Really
was
lived
just
up to
very chaotic. We were texting. It was very, it was not a debate. It was just two old men at a bar.
Yeah, they were kind of firing some bar type jabs back and
it just
back
didn't.
and forth with one another.
I'm disappointed that these are my options.
Sure.
Especially after what I saw.
Sure.
Like I
know. Putting all that aside,
yeah.
Given that they kind of are your options at this stage in the game.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
It was extremely entertaining.
Right.
In a sad Pedro Pascal laugh cry meme type of way. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, this is what we got.
Yeah.
This is what we got.
Is this the future of politics, do you think?
I hope not.
Do you think there's any way do you think there's any way of going back?
So just like regular politics?
So I don't know if you've probably obviously been on social media, but I don't know if you've seen any of the clips out there in social media that kind of compare and contrast some of the debates over the years.
Oh yeah. I saw the one with Joey B from 2019 to now, like the progression.
And there were ones that go even further back, like JFK, and like there was Clinton and Bush. Like there was all these Obama, and like they played all these like debates kind of back and forth, and then they kind of like showed some of the clips from the Trump Biden thing, and obviously like the deviation is pretty extreme.
Yeah.
So I guess the curiosity that I have is once the genie's out of the bottle, like it's gotten to the point where I think it's so entertaining to a certain degree, whether it's right or wrong, right? It's kind of like a no press is bad press kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Like you can kind of say, I think it's probably fair to say that Trump looked better, policies aside. Like I think just if you watched it
like the more spry old man.
Correct. So if you watched it and knew nothing about the policies, really, you just kind of watched it and took it for face value. I mean, Trump kind of walked away.
Yeah.
As a winner in that case.
Yeah.
But, and I think the country as a whole is probably, like when you're watching it on social media now and you're taking all these things in, like it's almost like the debate isn't really what's that relevant. It's just who has the better one-liners because what's going to trend on social media the following day. And I mean, I watched the whole debate, but I've probably seen more of the debate through social media clips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very few of them have been like favoring Biden. So it's almost like we have the debate, not to have the debate, but we have the debate just to create content after the debate. And I'm wondering if like socially though, if that's where we're at.
They're trying to do.
And will that be the future?
That's essentially what it was. I mean, like we were discussing earlier, there was no live audience. The mics were controlled.
CNN has basically become a content creator.
There was a content house that did a long form live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a joke, to be honest. Like it was just I have a lot of feelings about the entire scope of
world politics.
Yeah, in general. And we went through this 4 years ago, and it was our kind of catalyst for selecting Joe Biden was we much rather have someone there who is a better representation of what the office is supposed to look like and knows politics.
A return to normalcy.
Normalcy,
I think was
right?
like a tagline
Exactly.
for the campaign at one point.
Now, I don't think we expected for it to kind of backfire, and we're looking at you like, all right, Grandpa, come on, let's go. It's time for your nap. Like, we don't want you out there driving by yourself. Mm-hmm. So now it's kind of backfired because he's still outside and we can't get him back in.
Sure.
But we don't have another option.
It makes you feel...
besides the crazy guy down the street. Like, this is nuts.
Part of us not having another option is a failure of, I'll say, the Democratic Party of not...
100%.
Yeah. So getting back to traditional politics, right? Like, Obama was groomed to be president.
Yeah.
JFK was groomed to be president. Bush was groomed to be president. Yeah. Whereas, like, even just thinking about this fact, Biden's been involved in American politics
for 40 years.
No. Yeah. He's been involved in politics since since the Nixon era.
Was that?
He's been around for a long time. He was one of the youngest.
50 plus.
Well, 50 plus. Wasn't he one of the youngest senators or something?
Yeah, he's been in Washington since Nixon was
Because
president.
I'm thinking he ran for president in 87 and dropped out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
so
37 years ago.
So to say that, we were ambitious because it really was a way back to the career politician. This guy's been in Washington forever. He knows the game. And then he just went senile. So the Democratic Party didn't start grooming someone else.
Yeah, they didn't
anticipate it going this bad, this fast.
Yeah, but I think that's where some people feel a little bit of like a bait and switch. At least, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like if the concept that is the driving principle behind the whole Biden thing is a return to normalcy, that should be the primary goal. And obviously, Biden is no longer
normal.
That.
Yeah,
he's no longer.
So I get
normal.
it. Like, I mean, if it was all about like normalcy, it would have been, hey, like, Biden's kind of on the other side of this. We need to bring somebody else in. Yeah. Maintaining normalcy is really important. We want to carry forward like these policies and these goals, but we need the next generation to do it. And it feels very much like somebody is just refusing to let go for reasons that feel beneath the message.
I feel like the Democratic Party kind of really just kind of acts in the right now. We need to act now, and doesn't have the foresight to say, all right, we're probably going to lose the next 2 terms. All right, so let's get our ducks in a row and figure out who are we going to matriculate through this process to be ready for us in 8 years. And they haven't done that. Even if the gig was we just get him out, and while we got the seat back, we prepare the next guy. And then where's Olivia Pope? Like, we need somebody that's going to come and kind of like orchestrate this whole, like, all right, we got him back in. Let's get the next guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Obama. Right. And then like they just said, all right.
We had a good run.
This will solve itself.
I feel like the messaging and the policies need to be what's like front and center, and the person that's like helping kind of bring the torch across the finish line isn't what is so relevant. And I think what is happening is like Biden's trying to make himself relevant. Like he's putting himself in front of the mission, if you will, right? To a certain extent. Like I feel like that's kind of the misstep, is make it not about you and step aside, make it, about it's more important
protecting the policies.
It's more important than the man or the woman, right? It's
definitely.
The message is what's most meaningful. And I think that that's getting lost now in the chaos of the situation.
I think with American politics, with American politics uniquely, it's always been the man, unfortunately, is the message. So it's very hard for the general public to disassociate the person from the policy. Mm-hmm. The reason why a lot of people like Trump isn't necessarily because his policies are that great. It's because they love the character that Trump presents to them.
Sure. And I think that there are large sections of the United States that feel very underrepresented. They feel very left behind, especially in the boom of like internet and like all of, you know what I mean? Like like just the chaos of the last 20 years, right? And I think a lot of them feel very much left behind. And I don't think that they feel like their quality of life has gotten better. Yeah. So regardless of whether or not Trump is going to come in and make anybody's life better, Trump is at least willing to stand up and kind of like take his middle finger out to the other side, right? And I think that like there is a big group of people that are like, if anything, I just want like that. Like if nothing else, at least
Show me that you heard me.
At least I have somebody who stood up and at least, gave the other side like a hell of a 4 years. Even if nothing changes for me, I'd rather have somebody stand there and just say how awful the other side is. So and that's a weird like kind of philosophical thing that you have to combat against. And I think the Democrats have a lot of work kind of to unwind. I don't even think they're doing a great job of it now, really even connecting with, that kind of segment of the country. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It seems like Trump is kind of only gained support in those areas, and probably even anybody that was moderate or kind of in the middle. Yeah. I think a lot of people are feeling like, listen, the Biden thing is,
it's not going
there's something going on here that's weird.
Yeah.
And at least the Trump thing, I can kind of clock that, I think, from a little ways away. Like I kind of, at least this is my opinion, like I feel like I can kind of clock the Trump agenda.
Yeah.
Know who he is to a degree. Like I don't think there's any big like
how much worse could it get?
I don't think there's any like big scams up his sleeve necessarily. Like I think you can kind of call it for what it is. And I think the Biden thing is like, I don't feel like Biden has really been in the driver's seat probably for the last year or so. So I don't know who is. And I don't know who will be moving forward. I mean, I have my theories, of course.
And I think I think another thing is this is one of the first times around that people are starting to pay attention to what a political cycle really looks like. Because even if we look at things, and this is probably going to get flagged for this, but the deletion of babies, when Trump got the Supreme Court to repeal Roe v. Wade, we're just now really starting to see the effects of what that looks like.
Oh yeah. Sure. It was caught up in so much litigation for like the first year and a half, almost 2 years now.
Sure.
Now we're starting to get like the fallout of it.
And that's generally the case for most 4-year terms.
Exactly.
Like most policies, it takes time for that stuff to kind of trickle out. Have there been, correct me if I'm wrong, but have there been any like 3 or 4 term stretches of any one political party? Like, have there been long-term, like have the Democrats been in control of the White House for a long series of time?
Not in my
like
lifetime.
A long series of terms? It feels like it switches every 8, right?
Who was before?
So we had
George Bush 1. Who was before him?
A Democrat. It was
Clinton. Okay. No, before him.
Oh, before Clinton?
Before his,
George Bush.
Before George Bush Sr.
It was...
Peace in the Middle East guy.
No, it was Jimmy Carr. No,
it wasn't.
It was Jimmy.
There was a stretch in the 80s where, the late 70s and the 80s where it was like...
There was...
Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican, Republican. Like it was just like switch.
And it's been pretty consistent though, I feel like even lately.
Yeah,
right?
Come on. We acting like we ain't got the
Clinton
internet.
got 2 terms. George got 2 terms.
That's another thing.
Obama got 2 terms.
Have we been so spoiled by the internet that we forget that we have it?
What do you mean?
Where I'm like trying to talk about political timelines and we have Google right
I think
here.
everybody just feels good when they can remember stuff.
I don't.
You know what I mean? When you have to.
There we go. What's that right
When you have to give yourself up to the internet.
George Washington.
Yeah, I don't care about these old guys. They didn't do anything to make my life better.
Oh, look at the color coding. Look at that.
Oh, okay. Red, blue.
So you got...
So there's
29 in the 1920s.
There.
Worst president in American history, Warren G. Harding.
Warren G, baby.
Then another bad guy, Calvin Coolidge.
Yeah.
Then another
Herbert
bad guy, Herbert Hoover. And then we get some Democrats who in
Truman was okay.
Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Truman was all right.
He was all right. I don't know, dude. Truman had some trouble, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't think
Harry Truman, he was,
yeah. All right. So not so great.
Not so great.
So, we get... This is our first like modern,
Eisenhower.
We generally kind of like him.
Yeah.
He was the first, Eisenhower was the first cult of personality president that we ever had.
You sure it wasn't Nixon?
No, because Eisenhower, World War II hero.
Okay, got you.
First president
really to have like the bravado behind him.
Well, that, but also one of the first presidents we've ever had who had no history of politics.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Okay.
Set the stage.
Yeah.
All right.
So then we get Kennedy, then Johnson, because of course, brother man dies.
Yeah.
Then we get his Johnson, who was a
Lyndon
pretty
B.
good guy. Then we got Nixon, Ford. Then we got Jimmy Carter. And then we got brother Reagan here.
Baby.
Carter was in for 4 years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then Reagan.
Then Ronald, and then
then we got
Bush Senior.
GB1.
And we got Billy Boy.
Bill.
Mr. Lewinsky.
Yeah, Bill was in for 8 years.
Young Bill, dude. He had a
the ladies were going crazy.
Solid stretch.
He was on Arsenio Hall playing the sax. He was going crazy.
Dude, people love Bill.
And then we had GB2.
Yeah, watch this drive. Then we had
good old Barry.
Good old Barry. Then we got
45. Look at that picture. He
looks like he's up to no good.
He is crazy.
Dude.
And then we got Joseph R. Biden.
The fact that America is how old and we've only had 46 of these guys.
It seems like it's pretty.
Well, it's actually it's the fact that America is how old, and we've had as many as we've had.
Yeah, I think it's very unique.
That is
we've had so many
consistently.
Yeah,
that everybody has. No one has
most countries don't have that.
Outdone their term. Sometimes presidents would be like, "Oh yeah, you're only supposed to be here for 4 years," and they're there 20.
Yeah, we're still in many ways like a weird kind of experiment. I think we're doing things that I think a lot of other countries have not done consistently for a long time. But okay, so it seems like it was relatively split.
Switching out.
It seems like there wasn't ever like a long.
Can you just Google how many years of
a long stretch for anybody?
Or how many years have Republicans had the Oval Office versus Democrats? I'm sure we could just do the math.
So the problem with running that logic is
just ask ChatGPT.
What we think as a Republican. So you see how Rutherford B. Hayes and James Garfield and Chester they're Republicans. Well, they aren't what we would consider to be a modern Republican.
Yeah, because they
are actually
flipped.
So they're
like a
GOP
more
considered to be what we would think is a Democrat today than what a Republican is. So,
do you think that we're in the transitional phase yet again? Because some people would make the argument that the Democrats are kind of leaning into a lot of federal oversight, a lot of control, a lot of, a little heavy-handed with some of the policies, perhaps.
Yeah.
And maybe the Republicans are saying, less of that.
Let's let the states decide.
Yeah, give me my guns, more freedom, less federal intervention,
involvement.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've always led to use the terms liberal versus conservative because those are actually what political ideologies parties tend to side. So the Democrats of today are always been more liberal. And liberal doesn't mean people can do whatever they want. It means more government has more range to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Where conservatives liberals, big government, help a lot of people.
Okay.
I thought,
go ahead.
I was I guess I still am under the impression that Democrats as a liberal, God, geez.
Take your time, dude.
As a liberal car or vehicle, were their ideologies were, we're going to take liberal ideologies and present them on a mass scope.
So,
civil rights. Everybody needs civil rights. So we got to get it federally legal so everyone can have civil rights.
Think about that in the context of federal government big government has to put in policies.
Big G.
For all people. Because if you leave it to the people, things are going to go crazy because when they left it to the people, there were slaves.
Got a little chaotic.
Yeah. Okay.
So then you have the conservative side that says small government, states' rights.
Let them run their territories.
Let them do what they do.
Let them kind of manipulate the laws based on
if I want
what's
to
happening in that area.
If I want to live in the Wild West, I'm going to go live in the Wild West.
Yes.
That's crazy.
But if I want to live in New York, I'll live in New York.
Right.
I'll choose the version of America that I want.
But do you not think that some laws have a necessary kind of warrant for federal oversight?
Absolutely.
Well, this is the friction.
So one would say
this is the crux of the problem.
The liberal would say a good thing that deserves federal oversight is education.
Absolutely.
The conservative would say you should be able to educate your child as you see fit.
Absolutely. See, that's and that's where you get the pull and push.
And that's where you get.
I do believe education should be absolutely available to every child across the board, regardless
and I think one of the arguments, not to go down the right wing rabbit hole here, but I do think one of the arguments behind education, I think a lot of conservatives feel like, hey, if you're spending $80,000 a year on my child, if that's what it costs the taxpayer to educate them, give me that $80,000. Let me place them where they want, or give it to me. Yeah, because with the $80,000 grant or whatever that I get to educate my kid, I can put him in private school. I can put them in. I can put them where I want to. Yeah, correct.
A sub to come in.
I can homeschool them, and I can invest that money, or I can do something right. Like it's weird, right? Like it's a little like
and where
it's tricky.
And where they in the middle is you set kind of guidelines, right? So every grade level
curriculums, right? You got to hit this benchmark before you can move on. You set
benchmarks. So no child, and I'm gonna hate to use this term, but no child gets left behind.
We should have left a lot of people behind.
Agreed.
There's a lot of people out here that shouldn't have came.
And then a lot of curriculums and a lot of programs get rid of. Again, this is like another interesting caveat of it all, but they eliminate a lot of classes that would, or education that would prop up maybe more blue collar jobs, right? Like you lose shop class, you lose agricultural classes. Like they take away a lot of those, like a lot of that education, and they kind of force everybody into a more
of a strict regimen.
Not maybe like strict regimen. It's just like there are
a more metropolitan.
Correct. Like we're going to do more computer sciences or whatever, which is not like bad. Like it's fine. It is what it is. But at the same time, like you also do need people that know how to farm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like you have to have those things. So I think people that are on that side of the camp, they feel like not only are you taking all of these taxes from me, but you're also educating these people and educating these children in a way that's not going to be able to sustain our way of life. Yeah. Like now we can't sustain farming. We can't sustain like whatever, right? Like plumbers or mechanics or all of these things, because there used to be like mechanics classes, like in school.
I remember
like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shop
class.
Sure. You used to work on small engines and do all kinds of, that's all gone now. Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, but
because in the issues come in those same camps who believe that stuff are also the people who believe that, history isn't what it was.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Then they try to manipulate the literature that is provided in said education, which I don't think you have it both ways.
It's a friction point.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Here we are, dude.
And here we are. That's the American political system.
Here we are, baby, 2024.
So someone who might be trying to pass a bill to bring shop class back, they need support. So they'll let somebody attach a rider that says, let's get rid of Native American education in public schools.
Because what that does is that erases.
Yeah. Most policies or most bills that get put up have a lot of things attached to them in the fine print.
Yeah,
that's kind of the whole.
The riders are crazy.
I think COVID was a really big kind of pull back the curtain on these small incremental riders that they would put into these packages, right? Like, I didn't know that money was going to the Middle East in a COVID package. Like, what?
No, dude, we send cash everywhere.
Cash is going all kinds of places.
That's right.
I'm thinking, great, billions of dollars to help with COVID, and it's not even billions. It's like
hundreds of millions,
maybe a third of that.
Yeah.
It's actually going towards COVID. The rest of it is war in Ukraine.
Funneling into different things that are not really disclosed on the surface.
You want to approve this, you got to give give Texas $100 million to help them with Border Patrol.
We got to get into some politics, dude. That's all I know. All right, moving on.
I think people would listen to me.
They might. They might. A lot of tattoos.
You never know.
America.
A lot of tattoos, dude. I mean, listen.
Me? Look at you.
I'm not running for president.
She's white.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Cover him up, dude. See what happens. I'll run as your VP.
I'm not going. Why you can't? You want to keep pushing me to the?
I'll go as the VP.
You're white. You go. I'll be your background guy.
No. You go. I'll co-sign.
See, that works too. Right?
Yeah, dude.
The problem is you got to wear long sleeves.
You're gonna have to wear. You're gonna have to wear long sleeves. People won't care about me because I don't.
Because he's white.
I'm VP. I'm not. No
because you're white.
I mean, yeah, sure. That'll get.
They trust him.
Yes.
I've got tattoos on my hands and stuff. It's gonna be a problem. But we'll get some makeup. We'll figure it out. But dude, you can bring cool back to the White House.
I don't have.
You know what I mean?
I don't have enough money by me.
And then I'll be back there and I'll be like, it's gonna be fun.
But look at Brandon Scott, man. Look at that. Homegrown Baltimore guy is the mayor, right?
Like, city 60% black. We haven't had a white man in mayor.
I'm not speaking in that regard. I'm speaking in like from a millennial guys that we have a millennial mayor. I mean, regardless of how you feel about Brandon Scott, but we have a millennial mayor who who looks like us.
Yes, that's true.
Right? He kind of represents.
Looks young.
He looks young. He represents our class of generation.
He can speak.
He can speak. Yeah. And he can speak in
different levels.
He is a necessary code switcher is what I'll say.
He's as articulate as he needs to be.
Exactly. And I think that is, I'm not really hip to his policy, and mayors don't really have like policies, but if that is the direction that politics will go in, is someone who is just determined to do the job, right? But staying true to who they are, I can get behind that. I don't know if I can. We got to get these old guys out of here. They got to go.
The issue is that the young guys become the old guys.
And they never leave.
Yes.
Because the job is cushy.
Power is a hard thing to give up.
Yeah.
Here's why
would you give up Secret Service?
Well, I don't think you have to give up Secret Service. I think you get Secret Service for life. Once you're the president.
Once you're the president.
You get it for life.
Vice president, you get it for life?
They get it for a certain number of years.
I think VP gets it for a while, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it also depends a little bit. Like, I think it depends on, I feel like there's factors involved. Like, if you're a high rate for problems, you might get it for longer or something. But yeah, Trump's got Secret Service right now. He will till he dies.
Mm-hmm.
What a guy.
George Bush has got it.
He definitely still does.
They all got it.
Hey, man, he's telling people, watch this drive right now.
That's right.
As we speak.
You go take a break. I got this.
Dude,
you got what, bro?
We'll close out on the moment where it devolved into a golf match. And I honestly thought, I said to Emily in that moment, I was like, that's how they should settle it.
Golf, dude.
I love it.
Go to live.
Just
we don't gotta get PGA
double
involved.
down on the chaos of it. You think the Masters sell tickets?
Boy, go to
Biden versus Trump
at Pinehurst.
Settle the presidency.
At Pinehurst #2. Man,
Let's go.
Are you
oh my God,
dude?
Let's go.
Oh my God.
Let's go,
dude.
Trump,
everybody on the planet.
Trump, Biden at Valhalla. Oh my God.
Handicap versus handicap.
I know you're not a golf guy, so you
the
don't.
chaos of it. But everybody would become a golf guy. Mm-hmm. We'd all figure it out. We'd all learn.
It would become the new WNBA.
We'd all learn.
Listen.
It would.
Listen, man.
It would.
I think it's a great idea.
Put some spectacles behind it.
I'd find somebody to sponsor us to go. I'd find it.
Man.
Dude, it would be
and I think they should do it. I think they should do it.
I think they should too.
They don't, and again, they don't even have to do it to settle the presidency. You guys hyped it up on this debate. Just do it. Just do it and let people come and watch.
But here's the problem. Trump can golf.
Oh, yeah.
I would hope so with the amount of time he spends out there.
I mean, when you
I don't think
he on a golf course?
He's on many, yeah. I don't think Biden golfs.
I don't think his game is like that.
I don't think he golfs.
The Trump National Course in Virginia.
It's like that.
Bro, it is one of the nicest places I've ever been in my life.
He's got the golf thing figured out. All right, moving on. I spent 40 minutes of politics talk.
We'll probably get banned anyway.
It's all good. You want to talk a little bit about, have you been watching House of the Dragon?
Yeah, I have.
You caught up on that?
I am.
You 3 episodes in?
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts? I don't know if we've talked about it that much yet. I feel like it's been a while since we've recorded. Let's dive in.
Yeah. 3 episodes. I think what everyone was thinking about Alicent, they've kind of vindicated in that. Like, I think she's an idiot. She just doesn't.
I don't think she had context for the words that were coming out of his mouth.
That part.
And I think we learned that in the last episode.
I feel like she's also a person who's very emotionally decision based. Like, this is what I feel and I just got to do it. And I don't think that's the game you play in Game of Thrones versus Rhaenyra, who's very, I need to take my emotions out of it. And we need to do what's best for the realm, right? Like, you know, even in the death of her son, she was like, I can't be.
I don't know, dude. She did spend a solid episode and a half.
She had to mourn. She had to mourn, and she needed evidence, which I would take that versus someone who just gets word that it happened and then just goes into full out war.
Yeah, sure. I would say that we could have cut some of that.
Oh yeah, we didn't need it in all. I mean, but it gave room for, you know, what happened.
It's been, I think, a relatively slow season.
Oh yeah,
with kind of compelling finales on each episode.
Yes,
like there's been finally a I don't know. There's like a dynamic at the very end that kind of is like, okay, thank you, we finally got here. But otherwise, I feel like I'm not quite sure who all these people are. I don't really understand where we're all going. There's a lot of names being thrown around, families. I don't really get, like, they're not setting up some of that stuff. Like, it's weird.
It's full on Game of Thrones. It's full on. Everyone has an agenda and a plan.
No, 100%. But Game of Thrones did a little bit of a better job of setting up the families and setting up like kind of the map, right? Like they laid the full scope of it out really well. Now, it took many seasons to do that. And obviously in House of the Dragon, they're trying to, I think, expedite that a little bit. And I think they're assuming that we're all caught up a little bit more than we are.
That's what I was going to say. I think that they're kind of relying on the fact that you've done your homework.
Yeah, or you're going to do homework and read up on this a little bit.
You kind of understand the names and the families and you can identify them based on the other show. So we're just going to go forward.
Yeah, but I'm kind of at the point where there's really only like two families that like I'm for the most part dialed in on. Yeah. And there's a lot of like external characters that I think are relevant and have importance, but there's not enough backstory on their families that I can really keep track of.
And like why are they involved? You know what I mean? Like,
sure. I mean, I think they're trying to make sure that the scope and scale of it remains true to Game of Thrones, but I think they're trying to make a faster paced like show, which is weird because it's kind of a contradiction of what I said earlier where I felt like it was a little slow.
The storytelling is slow, but the pacing of the
plot pacing is...
The episode is slow, but the story pacing is fast.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, the first 3 episodes, if I'm being honest, has been a lot of like just kind of sad moms. For the most part. Yeah. It's been a lot of like sad moms.
Sad moms and irritated grandpas.
More or less. More or less, really, right? Like we have a little bit of like, I get it, like the 2 brothers fought and that was kind of interesting. And then you obviously have the king. He's getting a little worked up and he's getting kind of a little Joffrey vibe, but he's not really done anything. Like, I guess he killed all the rat people, but that wasn't like, we didn't see him do it. It wasn't a big spectacle. It kind of just happened and we're all used to it by now. Like like there just hasn't been anything that's been that wild. And the dragons are around, sure, but they're not.
Yeah, they've kind of become the zombies.
They're not torching anybody.
And The Walking Dead. They're just kind of around.
You know what I'm saying?
And every time someone sees one, they're like, dragon, but nothing happens.
Like it's been, like, these 2 moms have really been trying to avoid war and everybody around them is trying to influence it. And I understand that, like the dynamics of that 100%. It's compelling, but I do think it's been just a touch slow. Because what is it? 8 episodes, 6 episodes? So you're halfway through the season, probably.
We'll get another
and then you got to wait another 3 years.
3 years for it to come back, and Rhaenyra's going to be an old woman in this next.
I don't know. I think that there's a little bit of a disconnect between the pacing and the plot and all that.
I think it picks up in the next one. I think we'll get there.
I hope so. They showed the previews, and it looked like a relatively interesting war scenario.
Yeah, I think we'll finally get some blood because we didn't get any blood. Well, I mean, we got a little blood. Well, no, it was insinuated that we got blood in the past 3 episodes.
Yeah, and again, there have been like murders.
We got the fight between the twins.
There have been murders, but nothing has been like over the top violent or anything, which is fun.
Yeah,
I'm not like looking for that, but we're getting a lot of wieners.
A lot of dicks.
A lot of wieners. And not a lot of like, which is fine. I mean,
just
it
dicks
is what
all
it is.
over the place. Like,
listen, spread it out. Women, men, whatever.
Speaking of dicks,
I don't mind it. I'm just saying, like, we gotta balance it.
I saw an article about the body shaming of Sir with the eye. What's his name?
Yeah. I read about that as well.
Eamon.
Eamon, a lot of body shaming on his less than muscular figure.
Yeah, I thought it was odd. I thought it was odd, and I also didn't agree with it.
Yeah, but
in any way, shape. I mean, he definitely is on the thinner side.
He's a thin. Jacked,
he's not the mountain.
I wouldn't say jacked. He's rather in shape.
Cut. He's cut.
He's just really thin.
Very thin.
Yeah,
but I think the thing that everybody like misses out on is he doesn't need to be.
Yeah,
he has the biggest and most powerful dragon in the world. He doesn't have. Nobody's touching him.
Yeah,
there's nothing. Nobody's gonna mess with him. Nobody's touching him. Even now. I mean, I guess like the kid's
going to turn on his brother.
Early, sure. But still, like, I'm just saying, he doesn't need to be jacked. He's not going to ever fight anybody.
And they're supposed to be young boys. They're not supposed to be grown men at this stage in the game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know his exact age, but he's definitely like 18, 19, 20, something like that.
They're supposed to be like early 20s.
Yeah. They're kids.
And also,
no disrespect. You're in your late 20s now. I can say full disrespect.
If you have the appropriate weapons in the right wingspan, which he clearly has, he's a tall guy.
Yeah. And we've seen already that he's well to do with he's well to do with a sword.
He's the best sword in Westeros. He is the best sword in Westeros.
Yeah. So I think he's fine. I get it. He's a petite man. Tall guy, thin guy.
Yeah.
But he's not jacked. It keeps him nimble, man. He's got to be able to ride the dragon.
It's like you in like 2009.
That's right. You can't be struggling with all these muscles.
No.
And all this, you know what I mean? He's aerodynamics.
What do you think of Christian Cole?
Who's that?
He's the knight that just became the hand.
Oh, I don't know their names.
That's not good.
It's not good they don't know their names?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I feel like, do you know the Thrones? Did you know the Thrones characters' names pretty well?
It took me like 2 seasons.
You're talking about like the actors' names?
No. Because Sir Kristen Cole is his name.
That's his name in the show?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. I thought you were saying that was his actual name.
What family does he come from? He's just a knight.
He's lowborn. He's a lowborn that Rhaenyra and Alicent took a liking to.
Yeah, they both.
That's right.
When he got assigned to the King's Guard, it was because he's the only one who actually seen war of the people.
Sure.
That's right.
Yeah. And in all fairness, I did say there was a lot of people that I just was not tracking with when I started this whole thing. But 100%.
He's definitely.
I know who we're talking about now. I got him.
Sleeping his way to the top. I'm not mad at him.
I don't know. He's fine. I'm not. I don't know. Am I supposed to feel some kind of way about him? He's not. He's not super compelling to me.
He annoys me more than anything else.
He seems like he's a little
he's definitely letting his cock speak for him and his decisions. Like that's why I'm saying the whole Green Banner is letting their emotions speak for them. Speaking of Alicent,
I mean he has kids with Rhaenyra, right?
No.
Does he not have children with her? I thought he did.
He was just in love with her, and then she turned him down.
No. He has
that's
kids
not
with
him.
her.
He's dead.
No. Remember, before when his relationship ended, when they were on that boat and he wanted to run away and she said no, that's when he just was like, oh my God, I hate her.
That's right. Because the children...
Rhaenyra has several kids with brown hair.
Larys killed him.
Larys Strong.
Clubfoot.
Larys Strong's brother.
First OnlyFans subscriber. To Alicent.
I got you. Give me 1 second.
Feet boy.
Guys.
Feet guy.
No, I
Feet
know
Boy's brother.
I know who that is.
That was his brother?
Yeah, Feet Boy's brother.
He killed his brother and his father in the fire. Those were Rhaenyra's children's father. That was their father.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
I don't claim that I'm like a super intelligent person, but I watch these shows pretty closely. This is what I'm talking about. I can't keep track of anything.
I think you're pretty smart.
I appreciate that. But look at this. Look at what we're doing right now.
Brown hair.
I have thought that these
if you
children...
guys could see this Google search right now. I thought
the whole time that these children belong to the... What's his face?
How many degrees in this room? How many people does it take?
Who is... I need a picture of this guy.
I got you. I'm trying to look. I was trying to look for his name.
What is it? Harwin Strong?
Didn't
you say that?
Harlan Strong.
So Google
he's
Harlan
Strong. Yeah.
I need to see the face.
Put Rainier's baby daddy. There we go. There we go.
The child of
No.
Harlan Strong. Okay.
Not that guy.
That's
Yeah,
her,
no. I know. I just don't.
That
make
was
sure I
her
spelled
beard.
Harlan
Yeah,
right.
that was the dude that she married.
They're him right there.
Sir Harlan Strong. Yeah,
Harlan
yeah.
Strong. There we go.
Okay, wait a minute.
He
Go
got
back.
killed by his brother, Clubfoot.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And this guy was in the first season?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
gotta go back.
So okay. So this is Harlan Strong.
I gotta go
This
back.
is Master of Coin. No. Yeah, Master of
Yeah.
Coin.
See that
Okay.
guy on the left? Click that picture right there.
Yeah.
Yep. No. Where you were?
This one here.
Yep. Click that one. The guy on the left,
This
Well,
this
you-
one right
in
First
the
of
middle
all-
now. That's Clubfoot.
No,
This is
you're
Club-
right. I
yeah,
got
this
you. I
is
got you.
Clubfoot.
But
This
you're
is their dad.
That's their
But
dad.
you can see why I'm confused.
Yes.
This is the same guy.
He looks exactly like Christian Cole. I
That's-
think there's a
I can see
static
it, yeah,
quo.
yeah, yeah.
That's the same flavor of white man right there.
You gotta have a flavor of each flavor. Each season.
Okay,
We
great.
even got black flavors now in this show.
hey, man.
We got blonde.
man.
We got dreads. We got everything.
That's what I'm saying. It's very hard to keep track. It's very hard to keep track. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm iffy on this season so far. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's a well-made show. I
Art
enjoy it for what it
imitates
is.
life. Life imitates art.
Did you go see Inside Out too?
The girls did. I didn't.
Yeah, man. I saw it on Friday. I saw it
They
on Friday,
went.
man.
I didn't
He
get to
went and
go.
saw it.
I took the
jealous.
day and kind of just.
Did they enjoy it?
Oh yeah, it's all they can talk
Making a
about.
ton of cash. I'm surprised. I was caught off guard by it, to be honest. I kind of thought that
150 mil.
no, I think it's in the billions now.
That was the weekend. The opening weekend was 150 million.
Sure, but I think it's crossed the
Now
billion
it's in a
mark.
billion. Yeah.
And I was a little surprised. I kind of thought my theory proved not to be true.
And Bob Iger's like, "Psh, told y'all.
I thought the
Told y'all.
era of like big kids movies was just like big box office returns for kids movies was kind of behind us.
Well, I don't think that they expected Inside Out 1 to be such a banger,
Yeah.
right? Like it was
Sure.
such a sleeper.
No, sure, but still, like I said, if you're going to take a family of 4 to this, it's going to cost you $100 plus, and that's not, if you buy snacks and stuff, it's going to cost you
Tickets alone,
double that.
$60.
My theory was that a
For
lot of people
four
were
people.
not going to the theaters because of the cost. But Inside Out 2 comes out, and it seems like everybody's lining up.
And, Disney did the thing where it's like, nah, only in the theaters. So it's been heavily promoted
Yeah.
on Disney Plus with no kind of like, trailer or not trailer, but like date of release.
Yeah.
No indication. There's been like one little like 7-minute behind the scenes look, but they're consistently pumping, Investopedia. What's
There
that?
you go, baby. Get into it. Stock market. All right.
Yeah.
Because you didn't go see it, you can't help me. But did you enjoy it? You
Yes,
thought
it was pretty good.
Yeah,
You
that's all
saw the
girls
first
can
one, I
talk
take
about.
it?
No.
You didn't see the first one?
No.
Interesting.
man.
So my
Plot
my
twist.
girl wanted to see it.
I think it's on Plex. I think it's on there.
Yeah, I'll watch it. But
I'll give
she
you
wanted
my
to see it.
Disney Plus login if you want.
Yeah, yeah. She wanted to see it, so I was like, "Oh yeah, we'll go see it."
Yeah.
So we went to go see it, and I
you enjoyed
thoroughly
it?
enjoyed it.
Thought it was good.
Yeah. All Clark talks about is anxiety, which is
Her favorite thing.
she is anxiety. So
Let's go, man.
it's her favorite thing.
All right. Well,
Anything else?
did you see the? Well, it seems like Drake has found himself deeper in a hole. No,
Yeah.
seems like
He stays in the news.
since we last talked, though.
He's
Kendrick had his little concert.
Kendrick's pop out concert.
He had his little concert, and
He reunited
LA.
everyone in the West Coast. He was a live. I love making correlations to live memes. It
It was
was
an Amazon thing, right?
Yeah, it was that meme with the two gang members and they got their flags knotted. That's really what it was.
Yep.
It was a concert for everyone in the West Coast to just kind of get behind Kendrick and bash Drake, and I thought it was great. Like, I mean, it was a great moment. I thought it was a great moment for hip hop. Like you get so much in the realm of for lack of a better words, rap beef.
Sure.
We got to see so much unification amongst people who you would think had so many problems with each other. But they were just having a good time. And and the only thing I could think of is that we don't hate each other. We just hate immigrants. They hate Drake.
You heard it here first.
They hate Canadians. And
Trump,
I was like, okay.
2024, build the wall.
Right. So, but I thought that was.
We need one down below and one up top.
One up top. We got to get the Canadian. Listen.
I don't know what's going on up north, but
Gotta
clearly.
get those double jean wearing guys out of here.
If I've learned anything from a Game of Thrones, is we need a wall up north.
Those, what do they call it? Tuxedo? What is
Canadian
it? Canadian tuxedo. Get those guys out of here. But yeah, man, Drake is, he just continuously finds himself in the news. I mean,
He's not looking great though.
Something happened to Rick Ross in Canada yesterday.
Did you see his like Instagram? You follow him on Instagram? Yeah. His posts are weird. He's been posting a lot of like pictures of himself just like out back by his pool, like smoking a hookah. It looks real sad though.
I don't know.
It's like him and a friend, and they're like on a couple of like fold out chairs.
No, it's Kevin Durant.
I know. I'm just saying, like they just look sad though. It's not like a party. It's not like they're having a good time.
You know what I got from that picture though is that
where there's boys just hashing it out.
Kevin Durant always finds himself on the wrong side of history all the time.
It was a bad look.
All the time, bro.
It wasn't a good look.
It wasn't.
Looked sad.
It wasn't.
He's looking sad to me.
To see Kevin Durant with Drake and then to see Russell Westbrook on stage with
Kevin Durant with Drake
with Kendrick Lamar having a great time,
and LeBron in the
everybody's there.
And they're pulling him, trying to tell him don't go out there.
Oh, Savannah wasn't having that. LeBron's wife was not letting him go on stage.
No. So that's
stay your ass right here. Don't you move.
So apparently he has some brand deal with Drake that they were like, you can't go out there because of this deal.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but at that stage in the game, why not?
I mean, I ain't
you
messing
got a
up
lot
the
of
money.
cash.
Yeah, I ain't messing up. I'm not messing up the money, but I'm also like, I got enough money. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You got a lot of cash, dude.
Yeah, me, I'm not messing up the money.
Yeah.
I can be bought. Absolutely. But
I don't know. Maybe listen, we could get a rebirth. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. Drake's not looking great right now.
He'll be fine, man.
He dresses a little goofy. I've been saying this for months.
The women miss him, man.
He's been weird.
Women don't care about beef,
He's been on a weird
bro.
path. He's been wearing weird clothes. Dresses like motocross at his events.
Paint his nails.
Yeah, kind of. It's that energy.
Barrettes.
Yeah, more or less.
Weird.
Right?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a little odd.
Kendrick said it. When he stands next to Sexy Red.
He thinks he's a bad bitch.
Yeah.
Like, what's with like, you know what I mean? Like, he wears like the giant, like,
I don't know if it's a point where you get so rich that it's just like
you just stop caring.
I'm gonna just wake up and be Richie Rich and just do exactly whatever I want.
And I understand. Like, I think I could, if I was like super rich, I could probably wear more comfortable things. But I do think that Drake has pushed it like too far.
Like bare feet.
His pants are too
like,
big.
His
shoes are too big. He's wearing like
ridiculous
motocross sportwear.
Yeah.
Just during the day. He's not on a dirt bike.
He's slowly getting to Kanye West.
But that's my point.
Kind of like
it's kind but it's kind of like a weird like Kanye's like, I don't know. You can't compete with that though.
You cannot.
You know what I'm saying?
You
can't go start just like, oh, I'm gonna do the Kanye thing. You can't do it.
Trump and Biden.
Kanye went all the way. Does Kanye still support Trump? Is he still in it? Has he made a comment on the politics?
I think
Remember when
he saw
had
too
like
much backlash from that.
Remember he had like a bit.
Yeah.
You think that was the backlash that he was concerned about?
Well,
he did go on a whole like pro-Hitler tirade for like 4 months, dude.
As egotistical as he is, he still cares what his peers think.
He was very pro-Nazi for
and
a long time.
when he to even say that. So
he was.
crazy.
I don't know what to tell you. He just was.
He was. He was very much like, regardless of what he did, you got to see what he did because he was a genius. And I'm like, I don't know, bro. Like, that was kind of like.
I think people would take the Trump Kanye over the Hitler one.
I don't want.
I know you don't want either. That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying if you get both, you have like 1 and 2. You're going to.
I definitely take Trump Kanye over.
You're going to go Make America Great Kanye over
Pro
Kanye.
Hitler Kanye.
Hell, Hitler Kanye.
Yeah.
It's a crazy.
He was wearing like the masks
He was.
and everything.
Yeah.
And at least the other one, he just had the hat and he was making music.
And he actually wasn't really doing anything crazy. He just was like he was just like, Trump is my man.
Yeah, exactly.
When he was pro Hitler, he was talking crazy.
He said, I went to a doctor. I won't say what race he was. He was a Jew.
Like, yo, what?
Yeah, and he was cruising around the White House for a while. You know what I mean?
Doing the most, man.
I don't know. You might put on the hat just to like hang out in the White House for a while.
I think
They invite you to a couple of dinners. You know, Trump's.
Listen,
You know, he slides some merch your way.
I could be bought.
He's like, listen, man, we're having a good time.
Just throw the hat on.
Keep coming
Just
on
throw the hat
over.
on.
We're partying.
Just throw the hat on for
Just
me.
throw the hat on for me.
And then you throw the hat on. And now,
Yeah, and then you
now
put
you're
that,
labeled.
Then you put the hat
now
on,
you're labeled.
and you're like, oh my god, everybody's got the hat on.
You accidentally, like, not accidentally, you're like, all right, I wear the hat. And now you wear the hat.
That's what I'm saying.
And now you've been ridiculed and exiled and excommunicated from everybody.
It's like Terrence Howard.
It's like Larry David. Larry wore the hat by choice. So no one would talk to him.
It's not. I mean, you know, gotta do what you gotta do.
Does he, okay, last question.
Go ahead.
Does he bring the hat back?
Trump?
Yeah.
I don't think the hat ever went away.
It definitely went away.
I think his base still wears it a lot.
I don't see it. Remember, we used to see it all the time, like in the Apple store. Like, you see it everywhere.
Well, let's
Walmart,
hold on.
Target.
I'll provide a little context. I saw it rarely, but this was pre-COVID,
They bring
and
it
I was
back.
out a lot more.
Yeah.
Like I work from home now.
True.
I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like back in the
True.
day, like when I was out at more things, like you would catch one once in a while. It's Maryland. You know what I mean? And I'm in
Oh, yeah.
I'm like in and around the city limits. Sure, if I'm out in like Fredericksburg or something, it's a little different. Or,
Haverty Grace,
Yeah,
Bel Air,
100%.
yeah.
You're going to catch some Trump
White
signs.
Marsh.
Gonna catch a Trump sign once in a while.
White Marsh, they still got
I think the
a little
hats,
flavor out
the
there.
hats were always somewhat scarce though, in and around these
In the
these
city?
areas,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
yeah.
still catch one once in a while. You might be right. It might have died down a little bit, but
I think after
He's
1-6, people were
is he
kind
still
of.
selling them? I don't have my phone with me.
Can you-
Can you see? Can you look
I got you.
Trump's website? Is he still selling the hats? He's got to be selling the hats. He's kind of the king of merch.
Hope your search history
And you're
pops
right
up.
to an extent because like he's not introduced. Do you think there would be a new product?
He tried the sneakers, but
Yeah, but that was a limited run.
Then he told
the
us-
hats were for everyone.
he did. But then he told us, about our jobs. So I don't know if that
Listen.
you can't sell us sneakers and then say someone's taking our jobs.
Black shoes for
The
black, jobs.
you can't.
right?
It doesn't work like
He
that.
put like 1,000 of them out. The hats are everywhere.
What's a black job?
You tell me. I don't know. Damn, look at the store. Okay, great.
$50 for that hat.
Due to high demand, please allow 3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks to get a MAGA hat.
Click on the picture of it on the back. Is that him wearing it?
You're not in private browsing, bro?
That's him wearing it.
Oh, look at his hair. He's so ridiculous.
You know what would be kind of dope though is if he took the Make America Great off the front and you just had that red hat and it said Trump on the back.
He just slightly
That kind of
modified
makes
it.
yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like
Elevated fashion.
you're like, wait a minute, is that a MAGA hat? You don't know, but then you see him walking away and you go, son of a bitch.
You know
it is.
what I didn't like were the
Those were litter golf courses across America.
the offshoots of the hat.
Sure.
Where don't do that. Like, because all you're doing is bringing attention back to this hat.
Have you seen
Yeah.
the mugshot shirt? He sells that, and he's made a killing off of it. I actually almost
This
ordered.
guy's got.
I
Wait a minute.
almost-
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I
Wait
almost
a
ordered
minute.
one
What
for
is that?
4th of July.
45 wine and whiskey.
He's got a whiskey.
Of course he does.
Now we got
He's Trump. He's got everything.
Yeah, we gotta try it.
Now we gotta try it. He's got cheese. Is that cheese?
Those are Trump ice cubes.
Get out of here. He's got a whole shop. This guy is the
there's
most
no actual
egotistical
whiskey.
genius I've ever.
Wine and whiskey products.
Yeah.
I see why him and Kanye get along. These guys are just next
Dude,
level.
it's kind of the same energy.
That's a nice sweatshirt.
It does.
That is actually.
this little golf pullover right
Yeah.
here.
The one on the left is really nice.
Yeah.
That's subtle one.
That just classic Trump football. It's kind of nice. Not gonna lie to you. Oh, let's see. Polos, t-shirts. Here we go.
Oh, because he did the video with what's his face, Jake Paul.
Oh yeah.
You see that video with Jake Paul where he was giving him all the Trump swag? Gave him the.
He keeps showing up at like boxing matches and UFC fights, and they keep.
Well, because he's massive there. He's huge.
They love him. And
dude, he's massive
that
at UFC.
terrible looking T-shirt.
Those are not the best.
No, these are not.
Those are not the best.
You could definitely
the tie-dye hoodie though. That's kind of hilarious.
That's outrageous.
That's chaos. Nobody would even know what you were doing. Like that's a real discreet.
Yeah, that's like KKK era.
Nah, that's more like.
I wonder if he's got an election. I wonder if he has like an election store.
I was
gonna
say like Pride Month in like Alabama.
I wonder.
Wear that to the Pride Parade and like.
Yeah, I wonder if he has like an election store or something. I've seen the shirts, and he was
What's
giving.
That one with
he was
the
giving
glasses
them to Jake
right
Paul.
There. What is that?
This
Are those
right
owl eyes?
Blue monster eyes.
Oh God.
Yo.
Maybe it's like a collab or something.
It's kind of coded. I will say this is the most like
because this is the
classic campaign.
Is there a Trump campaign store? This is kind of like
this is the Trump store. Let's
what?
But this is
please
like,
go to Home and Spa.
Is this a?
I just want what's in Home and what could he have that's in Home and Spa?
He's got a pet section.
Pets?
Yeah.
Candles.
Trump's got
a mug.
Okay, so he does have 2024 stuff on here. So
yeah, he's ready to go, man.
Campaign stuff.
Oh yeah, cutting board,
got cheese board.
The honey collection.
Got a ceramic trout. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's kind of nice.
What the hell is the honey collection? I listened. Ivanka was on the Lex Friedman podcast this week. It's like 3.5 hours long. Very interesting. I don't know anything really about her. I mean, I know now. I listened to the episode, but
she was a I don't want to say it on air and be wrong, but she was a what? No,
I mean you're on air. What do you think she was?
Wasn't she a sex worker?
No, Ivanka.
Yeah,
his daughter.
No, not his daughter. I'm thinking of his wife.
Oh. Okay, well,
or his ex-wife. Who is she now? Well, we haven't seen her in.
No, Ivanka's mother is dead.
Who's his current wife?
Oh, I don't think she was a sex worker. I think she was like a model. I mean, there's definitely like nude photos of her and stuff out there. That's true.
That's sex work, bro.
I guess if you want to throw it in that category, she was more of like a Russian kind of like model. Like she did some high fashion stuff. Like she was in like a lot of magazines and did a lot of that stuff. But no, Ivanka never did sex work.
This episode will never see the light of day.
That was Trump's child. But she's got an interesting story. All right, well, let's wrap this up. We'll keep scrolling. We'll find some interesting Trump stuff. But this was fun. This was a good return to form.
Yeah,
no
man.
Josh.
Indeed.
I don't know what happened to Josh, but this was good.
I hope Josh is good.
The Willett was great, by the way, before we get out of
it
here.
is actually delicious.
It was very nice.
I love that. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
It's very nice. I'm drinking a little bit of ice. I'd probably recommend that given
I'm going straight, man. I'm a straight.
Given the proof on it. But
I'm a straight guy.
High marks. I've had, to be candid, I've had Willett before. But it's delicious. It's very good.
You've had this one?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I've never owned a bottle of it personally and like sat with it, but I have had it like while I was out and stuff. So I know that their products are very nice. So yeah,
I gotta see what else they have.
They've got good stuff out there.
All
right,
look at that packable.
that's a wrap, baby.